Hi everybody, why am I in a new location today? Not to show you any scenic beauty or change in location, but usually I make this video in the early morning when my daughter is sleeping. But today she got up, so that's the only reason why I'm making it right here with a little birds noise and vehicle noise. Hope you bear with me this week. With that, let's get into today's video. So usually, even if you have hundreds and hundreds of ideas, why we don't get into the execution phase is we don't know coding, we don't understand technology, or you might even think that I coded 10 years back and the only programming language I knew is HTML, CSS, and so much more changed now. People talk about so many coding languages, Node.js, React.js. When it comes to backend, quite a lot of things evolved, and then the database, there are quite a lot of things evolved over there as well. For some people, they don't even understand the difference between the front end, back end, web services, what is REST API, what is SOAP API. The good news is you don't have to understand any of this. See, if you are a technical person who understands technology and you can get some more people who understand technology just like you, it's very easy peasy for you, and I don't think you need this video at all. But when you don't understand the technology, when you do not have a counterpart or a co-founder or a partner who still doesn't understand technology, I think this video will be very, very helpful. And the whole taboo around you have to understand technology to create technical product is itself wrong. And I'm going to show you two ways how you can develop your app or a website or a platform with zero technical knowledge. Let's get into the video. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you still enjoy and like viewing this content, definitely subscribe, so I will know that you like this content and I will create more and more content like this. So let's get into the video. So the first one which I'm going to tell you is very easy and something that I've already spoke about. It's Upwork or any freelancing platform, but I personally like Upwork because I've tried many of them, like Guru.com, Fiverr, I think so many other platforms, and I feel Upwork is much better and with much genuine freelancers. So with technology, it's a little different from the design. Though I have given you on how to get into Upwork and then find freelancers as a separate video which is in the description box, still it is a little different from the designer. Because for a designer, you can always see their portfolio, you can always see how they have done their designs, go cross-verify in something else and come back. But when it comes to technology, how do you see their work? So as usual, you go talk about your work and what is your requirement and what are you looking for from this developer, considering you're going to have this design. Because I usually prefer having the design in hand. It could be as simple as a wireframe riddled with colors, or something that you have designed from the freelancer, a different freelancer. Sometimes the design freelancer can also refer you to some development freelancers because they are usually connected, and usually it's agencies connected and people are super connected in that phase. So you can still go with this, but if you have to go find someone else, you always ask for their previous work relevant to what you have done. So some people, they are very good at creating B2C products, like where you sell products directly to the customer, wherein some people are very good at making B2B enterprise type of products where your customers are itself inside the company, like sales team or marketing team. So you have to find the right people, because making them understand from the scratch could be very, very difficult. If they don't understand how SaaS works, or if they don't understand how an IoT works, and if that is related to your product, then it's going to be super difficult for you to explain how it works, why this is important to a sales team, why it's important to a customer. So when you ask for their previous work, always ask for things that is related to you. Let's say you're doing it related to healthcare or related to payments. So if they send you some of their previous work, then you download that app, not the link that they share, not the screenshots they share. but you ask them for the app that is in the App Store or in the Play Store, download that and then see how this app is. Also check who had created this app. Sometimes it's very easy for the developers to give you any application out on the App Store and Play Store. They will say, I was only working on one feature of it, but App Store shows you the creator's name. Sometimes if the creator's name is not this developer's name, but probably the actual owner. Let's say they've done an app for Ola, but Ola has the name as Ola Limited itself, and in that case, which is very difficult for you to figure out. But now they will have work in progress files, or some work related, or some proofs that they have created. So these are important because there are quite a lot of people in the market, and here you will not lose money. That's very important, right? When you're doing it with Upwork, they will also ask you to come off work and then have a transaction. They will reduce money, but I think I suggest you to go with Upwork because the loss of money can be totally mitigated if you are doing with Upwork. Because if you don't like it, you just get your money back, which is super simple. Wherein if you go off work and pay them huge money, if you don't like the work, you are pretty much like done, and they're going to take the money, and there's no guarantee between you two. There are quite a lot of trusted agencies, studios, but pretty much it's like you hope for the best. When this is with Upwork, you will not lose money, but you will lose a lot of time with these people, where you will give their work and they will work on it for 2 to 3 weeks, and then they'll come back and it doesn't work, and when you do the testing, and it's sort of wasting a lot of your time. So you have to be very careful. But usually when you post, there will be usually 10 to 15 people come to you and then say, hey, we do a great work, and they'll try to reach out to you on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. But look at their work ethics. Always go on a video call and see what type of company they have. Is that a proper studio or a company, or is that two people just joining together and trying to do something where they're already working somewhere? I mean, everything works, but still you have to see their previous work, because without that, the chances of you losing a lot of time is quite a lot. So this is method number 1. So the method number 2 is using no-code or low-code platform. It is getting a lot of traction. Pretty much everybody is talking about no-code platforms, on how to create apps, platforms all together with absolutely no code. So this is an easy way, but here again you have to be very, very specific about what you like to build, and this can be done very easily. More than what you are doing with the engineers, wherein what you're doing with Upwork, because with Upwork you give the requirement, they'll come back, you have meetings, and then you figure out what it is and then go with it. But this is pretty straightforward, where you tell the system what to do and it builds something for you. So a lot of customization might not be possible, and you have quite a lot of low code, no code platforms. I suggest you to go explore it, though I like Builder.ai personally, where you give a quote, where you talk about your screens. You have to figure out if this is iOS or if this is only Android, or how do you want the data to be stored, or if this is very simple that you don't even want the data to be stored. Whatever your requirement is, you have to be very, very specific with a low code or no code platform and ask for a quote. It's usually not like you go tell them that, oh, I want iOS also. It doubles up. The more features you add, it only makes everything cheaper, and it gives you a quotation where you can go figure out what works for you the best. But I still prefer going with Upwork, because usually when you create a product, when you are having an idea, you yourself is not very clear about the 100% picture of it. Sometimes you think it can work out this way. You need someone to suggest you, especially when you are a solo entrepreneur into this, or you're just two people with very less experience. Then it's better if engineers give you or ask you a lot of questions. That's when you kind of get a lot of clarity into it. But if you still choose to go with low code or no code platform, so apart from Builder.ai, you have quite a lot of low code, no code platform builders. which I will be mentioning on the description box, where you can go check out them. But otherwise, if I weight both of it, I will still go with Upwork and still make the product live and see how it is coming, because considering how serious are you with the product really measures on would you like to go with Upwork or with Builder. So with that said, today's video is coming to an end, and if you found this video informative, definitely click that like button so I will know you appreciate my effort and also Roop and Sukanya's effort in making this video. And thank you so much. Next week it is going to be more about go to market and how are you going to take this product to the market and position it with a very minimal cost, not like with exorbitant budget, but with a very minimal cost. How can you take this product to the market? So thank you so much. See you all very soon next week. Bye.